Hello everybody, this is Twin Yorkmoth, but you can call me Simon. Wily states the 3 and 4 await us, and with those the end of the game. I'm quite excited for my little let's play of MM5 to come to a nice conclusion, and hope you too. We greeted here with a last nicety by the game, a free E-tank and a virtual M-tank, meaning that you can spend all the weapon energy you want before and still have full for what's coming up next. This long corridor really serves no purpose, except for making the ambush at the end all the more surprising. Following this, we're transported into the teleport chamber that's been a staple of every Mega Man game from now till ever. I'll tackle the robot masters here with their weaknesses and hope you can bear my rambling. First fight is with Gravity Man, whose weakness is Star Crash. In fact, I think the sole reason for Star Crash being named such is the tactic you can use here to defeat Gravity Man, make him crash into you. Only use a full head-on impact for the last hit though, as otherwise you'll get damaged too. Problem is he'll erase the shield with his bullets, which is why I've got no energy left now. Waveman is up next for this Charge Kick. Now, Charge Kick wouldn't be an ideal weapon to fight any robot master with, but this fight proves to be a special problem, as you'll get damaged by his Water Wave. Considering that you can bypass a Steam Blast in his stage easily and this is supposed to be his weakness, I'm a bit baffled by that decision. Thing is, this is a damage race and you'll always win, so that's okay. On to Stone Man. He gets cracked by napalm bombs, a great choice as you can rain those down on him when he jumps or place them where he's gonna land. Ideally he's going to jump a lot, you can really change damage on him then, but he's never ever gonna be a problem, at most a nuisance. A great choice to get an easy life up from when the other fights are going badly, so consider saving him. The first one of the 3 robot masters that in my opinion could really do with some rearranging of the weaknesses is Starman. He, as presented here, is weak to Water Wave, which goes through his shield, but really any weapon he's weak to could be made to do that. The problem is, he's in the air most of the time, so why is a ground-based weapon his weakness? It should be an aerial one, like Power Stone for example. He's easy enough to tackle with the Buster if you're having problems hitting him anyway. Watch closely now as I tackle that Napalm Man with Water Wave at first. The missiles he shoots are actually erased by it, as you can see here, but he's not weak to it. It would be the perfect weakness for him, but isn't. Instead, it's Crystal Eye, with which you can easily miss due to his jumping. He'll still get hit, but it's quite annoying, as you cannot shoot another eye while the smaller crystals are bouncing. The old problem. Nice rebound hit at the end though. Still, why not make him weak to the wave? And finally, my biggest bone of contention, Chargeman, easily the hardest robot master to refight. I shoot him once with the Buster for luck, as this little train was able to foil 2 of my recording attempts. The reason is summed up with 2 words: Power Stone. It's such a pain to hit him with. It doesn't pierce his invincibility, contrary to Water Wave, which does pierce Starman's shield. Timing to hit him right after the cold rain is impossible, and all in all a terrible weakness because it's a terrible weapon. Now consider, he never leaves the ground. Would Crystal Eye be great for him, as it would never miss, thus creating the awful split shots? Wouldn't Power Stone, shooting upwards, be an ideal as a weakness for Starman? A little switching around at the world would be a more logical place. Just a few stray thoughts. Now for a logical weakness. Crystal Man, standing still in the air a lot, is a perfect weakness for gyro attack. Just remember that the blade will go downwards when you slide, so plan accordingly and send it upwards before dodging. This way the hardest robot master in the game is rendered completely tame. In fact, it's wise to tackle his level only with gyro attack at the ready, because it can really ruin your fun after the whole gauntlet before. Gyro Man himself is an afterthought, as Gravity Hold wrecks him without leaving him any chances. I haven't got full energy for it, so a little equalizer at the start, when the hurting begins. He isn't that hard to dodge, but turning around quickly and unloading might be a hassle. His weakness hits him anywhere just by pressing the fire button though, so you could do this in your sleep. Just don't fire before his invincibility runs out, and he's toast. The following boss is a tedious and boring piece of ass. Hate this guy, and I think I'm not alone there. The only way of hitting him is waiting until he opens up. Then you can dodge, which isn't a great problem, and jump up to fire at his capsule, which is. The way the screen scrolls here is no end of hassle. It affects Mega's movement as he obviously has to stay on the screen, which means that if you jump while Wily falls, you'll get pushed downwards. Most probably into the spikes, which means insta-kill, which could give you a game over and you'd have to fight the Robot Masters all over again. Having a bazillion E-tanks doesn't help a bit here. He himself hitting you won't kill me instantly if I remember right, but I've only ever gotten hit by him once or twice, so my memory's a bit fuzzy. Still, this is totally bullshit difficulty, as suddenly the jumping physics go crazy on you in the worst possible moment. This also means that actually getting the right height to hit him boils down to a half-second window during which the screen has finished going down, but he isn't going up yet, which adds only more frustration on an already overly long fight. The last middle finger in your direction is that he'll retain a single bar of health at the end, making you angry and impatient, which leads to me almost failing the last dodge. Pause the video to look at that. I'm literally floating just before I jump. Praise you, shaky slide hit detection. Bear with me now while I demonstrate that Gyro Man is in fact always on screen during his fight, only invisible. You can hit him even in the clouds with the hold. Wily Crusher's weakness is Star Crash, but it's even harder to hit him with because of the strange hitbox, and the energy will almost certainly be depleted after Gravity Man, so there's no point using it unless you want to pop the M-Tank. What you're seeing here is my first attempt at the guy. Everything before went smashingly. But I didn't think of the screen scrolling problem. This will be your first attempt on him too, so fuck you, Wily Crusher. Well then, on to the home stretch. Here's hoping we'll never see a boss as boring and drawn out again. Wily 4 in this game is really short, but still reminds me of Mega Man 2's hardest parts. The reason for this is going to become obvious in a few seconds. This guy here. He's the big dumb walker guy of Mega Man 5, and you'll have a hard time dealing with him if you don't use my napalm bomb trick. He's like the ATSTs in the second game. You have to deal with him or he'll wreck you. Problem here is the unforgiving respawn. He'll walk up to you and never stop, so go back an inch, and even if you kill him you'll get another one right after. Don't fall too far to the right or the camera stays to the left and you'll get surprised by his body. I ran out of bombs just a bit too early, showing off that getting hit is one way to get by that, but that can't be the plan. You can also fly over them, though super is best reserved for this fight, as it's actually Wily Tank's weakness. He isn't too hard to deal with, just don't do stupid things like I do later and jump on the arrow. Hope for lots of him sucking, as with constant sliding you'll never get hit. The balls aren't too hard to dodge either. Buster shots can destroy them too, so yeah, not that hard of a fight. You're swimming in E-tanks anyway. Running out of arrow energy isn't that big of a deal either. The Buster might be better in the end. I just find it a nice touch that the arrow's second nature as a weapon gets a small nod here. The real meat of the challenge here is Wily's capsule, and it's quite a disappointment really. Remember the Crusher from the last level? It was tedious, boring, and you could die in an instant. The capsule here is tedious, boring, and completely harmless. Let's see. He teleports into a random location, so why not use Power Stones flying around the screen to advantage for once? Oh, he's immune to it. Never mind thinking that it could be useful just one time. If the capsule gets out of reach, it's best to use Gyro Attack on it, though it only deals 1 point of damage to him. Buster is shown to start, works perfectly if he's low enough. If he isn't, well, switch to Gyro Attack fast. Really, this guy is one of the worst final fights ever, so screw that and bend him over completely. Turns out that our little bird friend isn't only the weakness of Protocastle's final boss, he's Wily's too. Beat will fly towards him wherever he appears and hit him, sometimes even showing you, like here, in advance where Wily's going to pop up. All I have to do is dodge, and hopefully I don't have to tell you that it's about the easiest thing ever. The pattern is more repetitive than all of the Robot Masters, and many of those are simple enough already. He teleports in, giving you a chance to hit while firing down an orb that splits when hitting the ground. Just jump over it. Afterwards, he summons a circle of orbs that take so long to get off that you can always slide into a corner and just stand there. Then he teleports to a random location again, level, rinse, repeat. Can't get any more basic than that. The only time you'll ever get hit is when Wily teleports right into your face. There's nothing you can do about it. Really stupid, but that's what tons of E-tanks are for. Not that you'd need that many anyway. This fight is maybe the biggest letdown of the whole game. Thankfully you can speed up the process a bit by hitting in between beat attacks, as seen here. So, are we done that? Are we done yet? Seriously, die already. Thank Christ that's over. Now, let's watch the ending cutscene in all its glory. The granddaddy, why don't you just shoot him right here? Also, this is oddly reminiscent of another doctor that should be slow staying ahead of a mortal enemy that really should reach him. Oh yeah, this isn't as pathetic as Sonic never reaching Eggman, but it comes close. Oh, here's Dr. Light. Whoops. Damn it, why didn't you show that kind of strength in the Crusher segment? Oh, Proto Man exploded a section to the right, where Wily was off to. Surely he thought of capturing him. Oh brother, you so useless. So, on this low note ends Mega Man 5. All around a very enjoyable game and in my opinion really the most fun of the NES games. I'm sure lots of you guys will disagree with me there, so let me have a little speech on that while the credits roll, shall we? Most people consider Mega Man 2 the best in the series. Such a great improvement over the objectively mediocre first game, with the very much appreciated pause-out feature, a tremendous soundtrack, memorable robot masters, all in all everything that makes Mega Man games so great. From then on it seems that all the other games did was remake existing concepts. It's true, Capcom is quite infamous for not only over but abusing the never change running system philosophy. Still, the idea if applied correctly is still good in principle. Consider this. Mega Man 2 is a damn fine game, but you can't deny that there are a lot of small things in it that irk every one of you who ever played it. Really cruel enemy placement, Metal Blade's brokenness, all of Wily 4. Small details, but it's those that count in a series that hates major changes with a passion, as only little ones will ever happen. In my opinion, Mega Man 3 is superior to the second game in almost every aspect. It's completely balanced weapon-wise, the slide is such a great gameplay tool, the level design is stellar, and above all the game is just much more fun to play through, because a lot of frustration from its predecessor just isn't there anymore. Mega Man 2 to me, it just doesn't feel finished. It's almost there but not quite. 3 on the other hand is as complete as it gets. Usually all for gameplay over graphics, but as the former is definitely improved in my opinion, the latter can really be appreciated, and Capcom spent a lot of time just making the stages look nice, you can tell that. Really a step up. Let's skip the fourth game here as I'm getting carried away, just saying it's a step backwards again from the third. Overall just not as fun to play and to look at. Finally, Mega Man 5. All the points I mentioned until now are done right here. Fun level design. This is where most of the tight innovation budget was spent, for example in Gravity Man stage. Frustration? Almost non-existent. The game has decent challenge but isn't all that hard. Die-hard purists might say it's too easy, but I'd like to remind you that most gamers aren't of the type to enjoy ball-crushingly hard games. They, well, want to have fun. Pick up a game, play it for a while, get entertained. And that's the biggest selling point of Mega Man 5 for me. It's very pick up and play. Just jump into the action and experiment with it. That's a quality the other games in the series somewhat lack. It's certainly possible but not fun doing Iceman stage without Magnet Beam. It's possible to beat Quickman stage without Flash Stopper, but it's a real pain. You can beat Shadowman without Topspin, but good luck with that. You get shunted into a somewhat fixed order with most of the games if you're a casual player, and Mega Man 5 doesn't really do that to you. Start with Charge Kick? Why not? Worked for me. Or do you want to find out where Water Wave really shines? Start with Wave Man. Endless possibilities. That's what Mega Man for me is really about. The magic words being replay value. Still, you can't deny that Mega Man 5 has its fair share of problems. The color scheme is awful, even if the actual backgrounds are, in my opinion, the most beautiful of the whole NES series. The music is really bland. Everything bad about the game is exemplified in the Wily stages. They feel tacked on, almost an afterthought, and that's just sad. Protocast was such a nice build-up and then such disappointment. Still, I don't think the Fortress stages make a Mega Man game, otherwise Mega Man 2 might be the second worst in the series. Overall, I hope I could provide you a different viewpoint on my favorite classic Mega Man game. I very much enjoyed doing so. Maybe you'll consider changing your opinion a bit if you hated it before, and maybe you'll like it even more if you enjoyed it already. Whatever the result, this was Let's Play Mega Man 5. I am still Simon, thank you very much for your attention.